many minutes to talk about the most important thing. What Syria gave to the humanities, actually the first things in the history. In the old time, Syria was in this big size. Right now, without Iraq, without Jordan, without some of Egypt, without Arabian Gulf. But in the history, it was from the Taurus Mountains, the south of Turkey, until the Tiger River, that's Dajla River, and to the Arabian Gulf, even south of Kuwait, you can say, and to the Sinai Peninsula in Egypt right now. It was all called Syria in the Middle East in that time. Next one. That's all. That's one, Jamil Yasser. Sure, Syria, it's maybe famous things. Syria was who invented actually the alphabet in the history. And sure, this alphabet, you can read it? So the alphabet here, which gives sounds exactly. Then when you make the letters together, it can give you root word. Ugarit, so much similar to Arabic. There's about 40% or more so similar about Arabic. So some archaeologists think that this is also Arabic or the grandfather of Arabic, let's say. And sure, it was in the between 13th and 15th century. And by Phoenicians Phoenicians shared to the world, because Phoenicians were working like sailing in the sea, and then they made many kingdoms in the world. Ugarit, one of them in Latakia and Syria, and they made in Lebanon. They made also in Tunisia. Also, they arrived also to England, to France, to Spain. Many places they made or kingdoms. Next one. Sure, here, if you want to learn this alphabet, here you can see in Latin and in Arabic also. And sure, the alphabet should be 28, but why there are 30 here? Because there's two seen in Ugaritic alphabet. There's two seen. And sometimes there is for Alif, the first letter A in English, for example, there's A, U, E. So for that, you see them about 30 symbols of letters. Next one. Also, Ugarit in Syria gave the oldest musical note, completely actually. Because in Iraq, you can, in Babylon period, you can also find musical notes. And sure, when we try to play this note, it's as European style, like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, the seven, how we call them, I don't know. But for example, it's not as Middle East, like have quarters between do and re, because we have to arrive to the to re, for example. But in Ugaritic, just bemol, half bemol, this one. And now next slide, we can listen to it actually, because we'll talk. Next one. This Syrian man is also from Latakia, who read this musical note actually. There's two read for this musical note. There's American person who tried to made it, and a Syrian person. Some archaeologists think the American, when he made it with his emotional actually, his imagination, not about what he has front of his eyes. So this Syrian, first of all, he started to study the Babylonian notes, let's say, their style in music, to discover how it will be. And now if you go to the YouTube, we can listen to it. Show who played a French girl. And you can see the note. How to go to YouTube. Yes, can you play it and make it full screen also? Click here first and then. Also, we always will using
the mouse is trapped on the computer. You see.
Okay, click
if you move
space.
the mouse to the right, then it will appear on the screen.
Hasn't space. Yes. It's so simple, sure. it's just the finishing of this music, as my so-called information about music. It's trying, sure, the subject of this music, it's religious. It's called the divine worshipping gods, something for gods. And there's another note which talk about, for example, two married people. The wife didn't have children, so she was talking to her husband, why I don't have children? So it's something sad story, but I didn't find it on YouTube yet. After Ugarit, or should be before Ugarit even, Mary Kingdom, sure right now it's in the border of Iraq, like northwest of Syria. Actually Mary surprised us many things. For example, in Mary you will see the first chamber of commerce in the world, something about trade. Also in Mary you can find, we found actually, the first orchestra statue, about 7 persons with their instruments. In Mary also, it was, or Mary was produced 600 liters of perfume at that time. And also in Mary was the first foundation in the world about caring about poor people, foundation or something. Here we have this statue. She's a singer and dancer actually, and she's mixed. You can't know if she is like female or male. And sure, they were choosing her just for dancing or something for the temple or something like that. It's so famous in Syria, you can say. And that is one of example of the worshipper people, religious man, who was wearing something here and worship God like in this way, this polite way. This one. Now, what did you see here? What do you see here? Purple.
With some stars in it.
Yeah, sure, those points is because of photo. Actually, in Ugarit, the first who made this color, they discovered this color. It's blue and red. They were made it by shelt from the sea, because Phoenicians always working by shelt, and they were also selling this shelt so expensive. You have to broke it, and there is something inside. And for that, this color actually means in Greek language Phoenicians, Phoenicia, like that. It means, has two meanings in Greek language: brown person, it says, brown skin, or who are wearing this color actually. So it was so nice invention actually in the world. Next one. Here it talks about this in a funny way, sure. Here it's French here. Here they say we are from Tyre, it's Sur in Lebanon right now, and we are from Phoenicia country, and we have like we are selling clothes and selling and glasses, and we are selling clothes with Phoenician color, this color or blue and red. And the funny answer was, they say we don't want, we are going to Rome, like take us like a bus or something. Next one. This column in Rome right now, but why I choose it? Sure, because the architect is Syrian from Damascus. He made many buildings in Italy actually, because Syria was so big. Some historical man, I think, he wrote in his memorizes that the Orontes River, which Al-Asi in Syria, was arriving to Italian river because Syria was so big, so famous in the history time. So he made this column in Rome, and he made also market which contains about 320 shops next to each other. Next one. This actually pyramids, let's say here in Dutch. This is in Idlib city, near to Idlib city in Syria. Sure, it's not that high as in Egypt, sure, but those for as tombs or graves for dead people actually. And you can say that the hay of them, say hay, between 15-20 meters their side, let's say. And the kind of stone actually, as if you are in Mexico or something, like in say Aztec culture in Mexico or something. This one. This is mummies. We discovered them in Palmyra, between 5 or 6 pieces actually, or 6 bodies, for the king of Roma in that time. And so some archaeologists, they trying to say, does Egypt who taught Syrian how to make mummies, or Syrian? But sure, it's modern, say, because it's 3rd century Anno Domini, so it's not that matter important. Next one. Hama city in Syria is like the middle of Syria. She's so famous, or it's famous about water wheels actually. Hama has about 100, more than 120 water wheels. Until now, there is 40 still working, because it's according to the river is down or high or something. And one of them back to Roman age, because we found in those stones, for example, mosaic, I think, back to Roman age. So for that, I tried to put the date, like from the 420 Anno Domini, or sorry, from the 2nd BC to the 420. But sure, by the time, in Islamic period, Christian period, they restored many times to work, because they need to clean, to change those. There's wood by wood also. No time to show how to make it. There's videos in YouTube, you can find it also. Next one. Ma'lula city, it's in the south of Syria. It's near to the Damascus city actually. Those people are Christian who still talk in Aramaic language, the language of Jesus, peace be upon him. And it's so nice actually area. You will see religious people sometimes in the caves, just worshiping, looking to the mountains. That's all. And in the winter, so nice. A lot of snow there in winter. Next one. And sure, there are 3 villages in Syria who still talk in Aramaic language also. Sure, in Syria we have 84 citadels. Actually, this is, we call it Al-Husn, or the fortress citadel. And right now, there is conversation, they are trying to restore it because it's damaged because of war, a little bit. And because it's so high in the mountain, so sometimes by the lighter, because of winter, sometimes destroy here or something. Next one. This citadel in Al-Raqqa city actually, this is a lake here. So they made a road, through modern road, to arrive to the citadel also. This one. Aleppo citadel. Sure, you can say it's the oldest and the biggest in the world, but still there is 5 citadels. I didn't find exactly which one is bigger, or it's not that much important, but what I am sure about it, nobody conquered or opened Aleppo citadel with war. Why? Because if you open from, this is the entrance, as you know in the history, to open the gate, you have to push by something. If you arrive here, you will not see a gate, you will see a wall. Then you have to go to the gate in the right side. When you go like that, no much space to go back. And while you are trying, because the power will be just like, not so much, and there's archers, they are shooting you, or hot oil on you. So nobody can, just by peace, if you want it, welcome. But by war, nobody can. It's Ayyubid architecture defenses actually. Next one. This is actually, I have a nice book in Dutch language and in Arabic I read it also. There is a traveler from Netherlands. His name is Van Cornelis de Bruin, or Brown maybe. He visited Aleppo in 1698 actually. So he made, it's not painting, it's by engrave,
Gravure.
but in the copper, nuhas. To the copper, I think, this iron.
Silver? Silver.
Zilfa?
Silver.
Zilfa is silver.
Copper.
Oh yeah, already, yeah. Right, just. So it's nice also. There's another photo maybe, next one. This is, here you see the Aleppo citadel here. Yeah, there is a, yeah, Aleppo citadel here. So he made it. Next one. This book, sure, I didn't find it in Dutch. It was in French and in Arabic right now. So the address is the relations between Netherlands and the Ottoman Syria in the 17th century. Why? It was celebration in 2007 in Aleppo, about 400 years or 4 centuries about the Dutch Council in Aleppo. So the relation between Netherlands and Syria was so old. So between Amsterdam and Aleppo, it was a council, and it was, I think, the first one in the history even, which you sent Dutchman to stay or woman to stay in Aleppo and Syrian to stay there, and then to make trade actually together. It's a nice book. I hope I can find it actually. It's so nice. It has a lot of information, even some photos. The maybe Dutch woman, the council she was, with some Syrian. This was shown black and white, but shown not the first one. Shown in 19th century, not the oldest. Next one. Busra Theater. It's also in the south of Syria. Actually, it's Roman style here, and it's the biggest in the world about still exist, you can say, and still complete. If you go to Italy, to Egypt, to Lebanon, you'll not see that complete in the world. Next one. Palmyra Theater also, it's sure smaller. Sure, it will be boring if I will just talk about the long street in Palmyra, long street in Busra. So theaters, sure, always there's parties. You can, it's so nice, especially in summer. You see the cold air in Syria, so nice at night, and listening music here. Next one. Also, the same Ibrahim made Palmyra. I think it is the oldest photos about Palmyra or about Aleppo Citadel. I think like 400 years ago. So it's so nice. Here it's ministry, I think, or not ministry. I will call it cloister. Okay. Go to the next one, please. Because to explain better. Yeah. Here, when you enter to this church or say cloister, there is column, but sure now it doesn't exist. Sure. But it's something like imagination. There's a religious man, Simon. His name is Simon. He was worshiping there, and these pilgrims. They were coming to him to ask him his blessing or something, and he just sent it down. Maybe some of his students or anybody will give here water and food. He's always upstairs for worshiping. So famous in Aleppo. Umayyad Mosque, sure it's in Umayyad period. It's so famous about the mosaic here. It's talking about, you see gardens, animals in this mosaic, so big, sure. But this is like a view by the wide angle camera to show all of it. Here to take water before the pray, and this one to put money for poor. So every year I think somebody open and give money to poor. Bayt al-Zakat. Al-Utrush Mosque is in Aleppo. This is Mamluki style. You'll see no colors so much, decoration. The minaret is different also. This kind of architecture. Next one. Al-Adili Mosque is Ottoman style actually. And Ottoman, they were always using this minaret. It's similar to pencil actually. Actually, they made it as a pencil to always remind you to study. Hey, you have to study, you have to read. Even here, you see exactly as a pencil. There's a mosque in Aleppo. Actually, it's funny. My mother just reminded me. We call it the cat's mosque. I said, why? She said there's hundreds of cats inside that mosque, and if you are like interested in cats but you don't have money to feed them, just you can play with your cat or with else cats, and the mosque will give them food or something. So until now we call it the cat's mosque actually. Next one. Here in Aleppo was the oldest bazaar or the oldest mall in the history actually. We'll see, so not tight street actually, they are wild streets. This street for clothes, for food, for gold, for shoes. It was covered 7 kilometers, the longest and the oldest in the world actually. This one. This church, also in Aleppo, in the old part of Aleppo. Actually, it's so nice. All of Syrians who are from Aleppo, we have nice memories here in this area. There's cafes here. It's so nice actually. This one. Also, this is around, I think, that church. And here you'll see there's some Islamic decoration even. So both of them, they didn't destroy or directly do it. One of example, the old houses in Syria, actually you see 14 in the middle, trees, and look to the it's not laminate, sure, it's real stones here, but coloring stones here also. This one. Sure, also the house, and by the way, it's the same civilization in Syria and Umayyad was in Andalusia in Spain. So here you feel one in Granada, Cordoba, the same civilizations. Here, then, in Syria, just to make concise or short lines, the alphabet was in Syria the first, the most complete, let's say, music, complete note, musical note, and the first Kamer van Koophandel, Prophet Tijara, and also a place for poor who care about food, foundation or building. And also about perfume, they were always doing perfume, maybe 30 kinds of perfume, not just one kind even. And also the old statues of orchestra, like seven persons also, this one. And here it's so important actually, because right now, you know, there's ISIS who are destroying Palmyra, destroying churches, mosques or something. So I just want to just 3 examples, maybe of 20 or 30 examples, how were Muslims treated with non-Islamic building, let's say. If you go to the Qasr al-Hil al-Gharbi, it's a castle back to Umayyad period. It's just southwest of Palmyra, 60 kilometers. It was Byzantine tower, actually. So Muslims, they didn't destroy it and build. No, they keep it and just continue. Until now you see it as it was, the Byzantine tower. Even the actually Busra theater, they have to say 1 million thank for Ayyubid period, for Salah ad-Din, because he defends it actually, the theater, because he built around the theater like military buildings, and when we discovered, we destroy or take off the Islamic buildings, we were surprised that even the basalt chairs of the theater still as it was. Without what Muslims did around it, you will not see this theater actually. Even there's Al-Halawiyya mosque, and Al-Halawiyya in Arabic it means sweet, the sweet mosque. Why? Because also there's 14, they were doing qatayif sweet, like maybe in Turkish we say qatayif.
Qadaif, yeah.
Qatayif,
Yeah, we say.
So if you are poor, you don't have money, and this is expensive a little bit, you have to cook it, so delicious. I will try maybe someday to cook it here. So there's 14, they fill it sweet, and then put those, because you have to make it wet with sugar and water and lemon, something like that, for that called. So when you enter this mosque, you see a cross, so big, in the entrance. The Muslims also didn't like take it off at all, because we don't need. So for that, it's so far between what ISIS is doing and from reality of Islam, let's say, or next one. Now who will read this for me? This is Phoenicians text. We discovered in Brazil actually. So we can say Phoenicians who discovered South America before Christopher Columbus. In the 9th century BC actually. So this text actually is talking about Syrians right now, because it's talking how, sure, he was written here in Arabic and here in Dutch. So they said here, for example, because of the strong men in the sea, we succeed by 10 boats to turn around the land of Ham. Ham is Africa right now, for 2 years. But because of a big storm by the hand of Baal, his name of God of rain in the history, Baal, this storm divided us. For that, we are now far from our friends, and we came here. They mean through Brazil, but for me, I read it, we came to Netherlands, maybe. And we are 12 men and 3 women to the new ocean. By admin, let's say the Amiral, it means king or prince. And we hope from the gods to care about us and to blessing us. So for that, this text actually, when I found it, I feel sad, but this is what happened in Syria. We just left Syria because of war, and this is our civilization. I think next one, finish. So.